I'm gonna just say this once. If you started off this morning talking about the Justin Bieber Swag album and not the Clips album, you not hip hop. You not thorough. I'm not even from Philly and I gotta get that off. The level of shit talking that is on this damn album and the fact that we have this legendary group that came through and executed, we're gonna have to start a lot of conversations when it comes to Southern hip hop, where we rank everybody and da-da-da.
I just thought it was disrespectful. I'm like, man, you know, we don't even want you here, to be honest. Like, we're not here to hobnob with any rappers. And I personally don't like rappers who don't rap.
Do you like the Drake song?
Which one is that?
What I miss?
No.
What's wrong with it?
I'm just not for me.
Complex, y'all are so messy. Why are you asking the man about his op new single? Okay, let's go. What did I miss? I'm noticing.
Drake is once again dominating headlines, but not because of a chart-topping single or a sold-out tour. This time he's making waves for his behavior off the mic and the persona he's pushing in front of the camera. In the music video for his latest track, What Did I Miss?, Drake appears standing in his backyard, surrounded by a large collection of real firearms, posing with the kind of bravado you'd expect from a movie villain or a cartel boss. For someone who built his brand on emotional vulnerability and clever wordplay, this shift into what many are calling a wannabe gangster image has left both fans and critics confused, and in many cases, unimpressed. We'll break it all down for you. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The issue isn't just the visual, it's the context. Drake is currently involved in a lawsuit against his label and others, claiming defamation, reputational harm, and even threats to his safety, allegedly stemming from his beef with Kendrick Lamar. So when he steps into a video standing in front of assault rifles, it sends a mixed message. On one hand, he's portraying himself as a victim who feels targeted. On the other, he's portraying himself as someone prepared for battle. Critics say the contradiction undermines his credibility and makes his lawsuit look like a strategy rather than a sincere reaction to being wronged. The backlash came quickly. The Breakfast Club's Charlemagne Tagod didn't hold back, calling the video corny and saying that Drake looked like he was playing a character rather than expressing anything authentic.
So many people that he had to go at.
It's a cool record. I mean, Drake can rap, Drake can make music, we know that. But, I mean, y'all don't think it's extremely corny for him to be in a video surrounded by guns?
No, absolutely it is.
Like, what?
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all don't think that's extremely corny?
Yeah.
Fans on social media echoed this, saying Drake's attempt to look hard was not just unconvincing, it was laughable. Memes circulated almost instantly, mocking him for trying to channel an energy that no one believes he truly embodies. And just when things couldn't get any messier, Pusha T stepped back into the spotlight. The rapper, known for his direct and unapologetic bars, has released the first Clips album in 15 years alongside his brother No Malice. The album, titled Let God Sort Them Out, is already making headlines, not just because of the music, but because of who appears on it. One of the featured artists is none other than Kendrick Lamar. The Kendrick collaboration came with baggage. According to Pusha T, executives at Def Jam, which was originally set to distribute the album, were not comfortable with Kendrick being on the track titled Chains and Whips. Pusha says the label pushed him to censor Kendrick's verse, fearing that it would contain direct shots at Drake. When he refused, Def Jam allegedly told him to remove the track altogether.
But this type of attitude has been actually happening since 2018, since Story of Adidon,
Right.
since features that were coming out, you know, that I had coming out. There was, my verses have been censored ever since then.
So things have been made a hard way to go.
Yes, but mind you, you know, still roll with the punches, nothing even talk about. Nothing to talk about, roll with the punches, keep going. I'm doing a feature, I turn in a feature or something, they have to, quote unquote, make sure there's no legal, you know, I'm not interpolating someone. Really, it was just checking to see what the hell I was saying.
Right.
Once it went through that process, they'd be like, oh, no, you know, you need to change that. They go to my manager.
Pusha stood firm. As a result, Def Jam dropped Clips from the label, and they eventually signed a new distribution deal with Roc Nation. Pusha didn't stop there. In a series of interviews, he detailed how these industry roadblocks were not new to him. After releasing The Story of Adidon in 2018, a diss track that exposed Drake for hiding a child, Pusha says several of his verses were quietly shelved. In one case, he was featured on a Pop Smoke record, but his verse was removed. He suspects the removal wasn't about quality or content, but was a reaction from labels trying to distance themselves from Drake's enemies.
Right.
And I was like, damn, wait a minute, they're censoring me, you know? So by the time a couple Pop Smoke records get shelved, and then there's talk about this and that. There was a lot of little records that was being held back.
Adding fuel to the fire, Pusha also revealed that certain executives even got his lyrics wrong. In one situation, a song that didn't contain anything about Drake was still flagged and blocked, simply because someone assumed it might be a diss. He says the censorship wasn't just frustrating, it reminded him of how tightly the industry protects its biggest stars, even if it means silencing other voices in the process. Meanwhile, Drake's response to all of this has been scattered. While continuing to pursue lawsuits, he's also promoting his upcoming album, Iceman. He's shared cryptic captions on social media, suggesting that the album will bring clarity and may leave some listeners uneasy. He described himself as someone who's always treated the rap game like a sport, saying his pen always won gold. But the way fans see it, this isn't about gold medals anymore. It's about damage control. The music video for What Did I Miss wasn't the only strange moment from Drake in recent weeks. During a live stream promoting the new album, he drove around in a box truck while previewing songs. At one point, a group of teens rode by on bikes and shouted, "Not like us," referring to Kendrick's hit diss track. Drake responded by threatening to shoot them. While it was clearly not a serious threat, the moment played awkwardly and gave more fuel to those who already see Drake as someone desperately trying to regain his image as a dominant force in hip-hop.
But don't you think right now Drake should be talking about something other than this? Like, we know how he feels.
This record would make a lot of sense if Drake hadn't said nothing for the last year and a half. If he hadn't said a word, no lawsuits, no nothing, hadn't said nothing, he just came out, what did I miss? I didn't know what y'all was on. Like, that would make more sense. But you in the video surrounded by a bunch of choppers.
There's also been talk of a coordinated campaign to undermine Pusha T and Clips ahead of the album release. Several Twitter fan pages began posting negative comments about Clips in the days before the project dropped. Pusha called it a smear campaign and suggested that Drake was behind it, paying off pages that had no real history of covering Clips or even listening to their music. Posts mocked the group for being old, out of touch, and irrelevant. Others said the album wouldn't matter because it would be overshadowed by newer artists like Travis Scott and Justin Bieber. Pusha, however, pushed back hard, saying no smear campaign could stop what he and his brother had created. And then there's the matter of the lyrics. Pusha has claimed that Chains and Whips isn't even about Drake, but fans noticed that the title and the Kendrick verse appear to respond directly to a lyric from Drake's earlier collaboration with Jack Harlow, where he referenced whips and chains like a dominatrix. That line was believed to be a subliminal shot at both Kendrick and Pusha, so the fact that they answered it together on one track isn't being seen as coincidence. Even if the song isn't overtly about Drake, it's clear who it's addressing. Now fans are watching closely to see what Drake will do next. There's still no confirmed release date for Iceman, but the pressure is on. His last few singles haven't made the impact he was hoping for. Critics say he's struggling to find a lane that works, whether it's R&B, aggressive rap, or emotional storytelling. The guns, the lawsuits, the public threats, they all seem to reflect a sense of confusion or desperation rather than confidence or control. On the other side, Pusha T appears focused and unfazed. He's already said he's not interested in playing the industry's game and will keep releasing the music he wants to make, even if it means facing resistance. His position is clear: authenticity over image. And whether or not you agree with his approach, it's hard to ignore how consistent he's been. So now the spotlight is back on Drake. Will Iceman be a return to form, or just another attempt to distract from deeper issues? Will he continue with the lawsuits, the threats, the symbolic visuals, or finally respond in a way that feels honest and grounded? One thing is certain: the feud between Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Pusha T is far from over. And the way things are going, the next chapter may be the most explosive one yet.